to double check and make sure we actually are live. Um,
See.
yeah.
Give me 1 second, Josh.
So what I'm seeing on the screen is what the actual video will come out like. It's getting
Yeah,
published to
basically.
YouTube.
Yeah, I'll be right streamed to YouTube, so we could send you the link and everything like afterwards, and then usually afterwards we do like an audio version on like Spotify and everything. So like we'll have the option to see us or like um you know go back and listen to it, which is it's good to have options. All right, says
Yeah.
We're
we're live.
all also live now. I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
checked.
we are live. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. This is Josh from BatYard Productions. Introducing you to BatYard's finest, bringing you the finest Superman and Batman pop culture. Um, to my to my to my left of me is my co-host. If you want to introduce yourself, sir.
I'm Jerry. Glad to be here tonight. And tonight we'll be interviewing Mr. Web Shredder, a very fantastic Spider-Man cosplayer. And if he would like to give his official introduction so we don't hold him up.
I'm Adrian, and you can call me Web Shredder.
Well, Adrian, thank you so much for coming back. Coming on the show. I know we talked briefly at the Saratoga Comic Con. I think that was like 2 years ago. I think, and that was our introduction. I saw your costume and I was like, oh, we got to talk to this guy.
For nostalgia, I wore this very suit.
Oh, awesome! That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a very good suit.
I just wanted to. So I just want to get right into it. Like so, how many Spider-Man outfits do you have? Like you have multiple, like, or you?
I have 3 of this one. I have an actual custom Web Shredder Spider-Man suit, which is my design. And then I have, it's hard to say because they're in pieces, but I'd say 2 homemade, maybe 2 or 3 homemade versions of, because Spider-Man's got his homemade suit and then his nice suit. So I've got both of those, the homemade and the nice spandex.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
With the homemade one, is it more like Tom Holland's homemade one, or is it Tobey Maguire like wrestling outfit, or is it like a combination of your own?
If I had to say if it was similar to one or the other, I would say the Tom Holland one, just because of the way everything sort of fitted and the actual garments. They look more like the Holland homemade.
Cool.
So.
Nice. And as you previously said, you and Josh got connected through Saratoga Comic Con. Do you have any cons lined up? I know there's a few coming up. I believe this coming up weekend or next weekend, and then I believe there's NYC Comic Con in November.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm the kind of person who just, if I know about it, I won't know that I'm gonna go until it's like a week before. So it kind of just depends on the mood. If I'm in that headspace, yeah, I'll go. But as far as anything coming up, maybe the Saratoga one.
Oh, cool. Okay.
That's about.
Yeah, that's in November too. They have November and the summer one, which is nice. It's cool they have that option.
Yep, I prefer the summer one because I like to hang out outside more.
Yeah, I agree.
And I admit I'm back and forth about the Saratoga one this November because it is going to be inside. Like, we got to be inside. It's going to be cold out. And I get a little bored walking in circles the whole time. And the first hour or two, it's super fun. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the first one that I went to, that was the one we met at, actually. I had the time of my life, dude. It was so fun. The second one that I went to, I've been to 3 in a row now. The second one, I had a good time, but there was just something in the air. It felt off that day that I didn't enjoy it as much. But the first one was like, I'll never forget that Comic-Con. It was so good. And I had seen BatYard on YouTube, and I was like, I hope I run into that guy and he interviews me because I know that he did that stuff. And I'm just doing my thing there. And he comes out of nowhere dressed up as Hercules, and I'm like, oh hell yeah, he's gonna interview me. I know it. And then we had a cool time, and I still look back and I smile about it. I look at the pictures. I've got all the pictures that were taken, and that was a super cool moment for me in this
Yeah.
this new thing that I was doing.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad we found you because, like, yeah, I could see, like, your energy was kinda, like, like, radiating. I was like, "This is a guy, he's gonna be good to talk to," and I'm glad that's awesome news that you saw us before. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
a rarity when people come up to us like, "Oh, yeah, we know you," you know, so, like, that was cool.
Oh yeah. I was waiting. Yeah, that was my first. I'm pretty sure my first public appearance in my suit too. I had gone outside once or twice, running around town at night in my spider suit before that Comic-Con, and I was like a nervous wreck. Like every car that drove by, I was like, they're gonna come and get me. They're gonna be like, what is that weirdo doing? But the Comic-Con, it was like that's what it's for. So I felt so
Oh, yeah.
comfortable there, and um, there were other Spideys there, but I think that I don't know. Maybe it's whatever it is about this suit. It seemed like this was the Spidey that was getting people's attention at that Comic-Con because
Yeah. It's, like,
when it's
classic looking, yeah.
yep, yeah,
It's very
when it
traditional.
yes, yep, when the Comic-Con really started popping off and everybody was showing up there, I remember being up on the balcony, just chilling, leaning over the railing, and you know how there's that whole floor space where they take the big Saratoga Comic-Con picture with everybody.
Oh, right, yeah.
Everybody was down there, and they were all piled up with each other. And I heard somebody say Spider-Man, and I looked down, and then another person said it, and I started entertaining it. You know, I'm like throwing my hands up, I'm web slinging, and I mean the
Great.
crowd was roaring, and I was just like,
Yeah,
"Is
yeah.
this happening right now? This is the coolest thing ever. These guys are psyched." And I don't know. I've never been in a situation where it was like that kind of attention was on what I was doing. Not that I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
It was wild. These people were so psyched over. I mean, it wasn't me. It was Spider-Man. So that's what they saw. They didn't
Yeah,
see.
no, that's awesome. Yeah,
So
but, like, it's great you could kinda be anyone, like, as Spider-Man. That's, like, the beautiful thing about Spider-Man, you know,
Mhm.
like, it doesn't matter. You just put on the mask and you're Spider-Man. You're ready to
hmm
go.
yeah.
And people will
Yep.
always have a soft spot for Spider-Man. So it's great, that they were giving you your attention and, kind of helping ease you into the new experience of your first con.
Yeah. I wanted to point that out too. Like no matter what Comic Con it is or where you are, people love Spider-Man. So you're guaranteed to have people approach you and be excited, and I hear people say things like, oh, it's another Spider-Man, oh, this guy's dressed up like Spider-Man, woohoo, like, but there's something about this character that people love so much and they're always happy to see. So I'm not complaining, and
Yeah,
I
100%.
don't hear it when people are saying stuff like, hey, another Spider-Man. Well, you bet your butt. Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the
Mhm.
greatest comic book characters. Yeah, exactly. Do
And
you
there's
He's
so
do you
much
have
also
fun you can
really
have.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like it doesn't make as much sense if um whatever character it may be is crawling around on walls and like doing specific poses. It doesn't make as much sense. Spider-Man can just crawl all over everything and jump up and down
Yeah,
stuff,
he
and it's like,
moves
oh
differently than most
yeah,
characters.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, which
yep.
definitely gives him his edge. Do you have, like, other cosplays or other Spider-Man costumes that, like, you have, like, developing or ones that you wish you wanna do or, anything up, on the horizon?
Yeah, I want to finish my homemade suits, and I have my web shredder suit that was custom made that I'm puff painting right now. And
Oh, that's
man,
cool.
Nice.
yeah, it's gonna be whenever it gets finished. It's gonna be pretty cool, but I didn't realize what a project I was getting myself into. because this suit has so many lines, like little tiny intricate details, not
Mm.
just the web lines, but this one doesn't have it. But um, the suit that does anyway, it's just got like 1,000 fine little silver lines that I have to go over with this little applicator bottle with a
All
needle.
right.
And
Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
wow.
dude, it's taken forever
I
and
could
it's
see that
killing
being
my
pretty
hands.
tedious. Yeah. Yeah. You got to have that
But
steady
It's
hand.
always the smallest details that just get you hung up.
Yeah.
yeah, but it's something that I can sit down and pick up like once a night, and it's therapeutic in a way
I
where
can
you
see
just sit
that.
there and you're just kind
Hmm.
of, it's kind of like painting or drawing or making music. It's just one form of therapy. So
Mm.
that's a cool thing that you can get out of it, and you get a cool ass suit out of it in the end. So
Yeah.
there
Fuck
we go.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So there's that. I do, like I said, I have 3 of these. I have one that I'm halfway through puff painting just for fun. It's kind of a practice suit. It's the one that I take outside, and I'm not worried about beating it up or anything. Um, and yeah, the homemade suits, because when I do get these, good to start taking photos and doing actual film stuff, cinematography. I plan on making like fan films. I'm
I
like
was going to ask
so
Oh,
about
that's
that.
about
great.
Yeah.
that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have experience in that for as long as I can remember. I've had a camera
Oh,
in my
that's
hand,
awesome.
so that's kind of, and it's kind of funny because like I had a hard time just sitting here setting up audio on a live, but I've got all this experience using cameras and stuff. Um,
Yeah. Audio is probably the hardest part, at least for me personally.
Yeah,
Like,
because
Same.
anything can go
it's
wrong with
easy to
audio,
overlook.
no matter how
Mhm.
prepared you are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That one's easy to
I've just
overlook for sure.
I've got like 5 different options for audio outputs, and I'm like, man, can I just do it like it's 1999 and plug one thing into one hole?
Right.
And then,
Right. Yeah, exactly.
but
I mean, have that retro look to it too, like, or that retro sound if you wanna go for that, like, it definitely has its own aesthetic as well.
right.
Yeah, yeah, if you ever need any hands for a fan film and if we're available, we'll definitely, we'll we'll help you out if we can.
I hadn't even thought about that. That's so cool that you said that because I might take you up on that. I do. I need people who, um, well, I imagine I'll need people who are, seasoned in that and kind of know what to expect, know what they're getting into, and are prepared and they're in that headspace to do that kind of fun stuff. Because my friends, I don't know that I could depend on to get down with that. I have a friend who I
Right.
could probably make stuff happen with, but it's hard to get him out of his bedroom. So
Yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah.
It's all those creative types, it's like easy to be in the creative mindset when you're like in your own personal space and everything. So I
right.
could understand that. Yeah,
But yeah,
we
that's super cool that you offered that. Definitely.
yeah, yeah, definitely hit us up. If we'll see what we can do for sure. Yeah, we're definitely very familiar in the fan film spectrum because we have a Batman Superman fan film that we've been working on for a bit. And, we're finally releasing that. That's gonna be released at the Fishkill Comic Con, so we're kind of showcasing it there.
That's
That's no
exciting.
yeah, yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it. I think that's gonna be more of our screen test audience because it's gonna be like it's a Comic-Con. People are gonna be like going around and everything. So like I think we'll do that and then we'll have like a bigger kind of showcasing. I was thinking maybe the capital region somewhere over there. So we'll definitely we'll definitely keep you, give you a heads up if you ever want to, if you want to go to any showing or anything.
Let
So
me know. Let me
yeah.
know.
I
Yeah, I
had a quick
appreciate
question I wanted to throw in. So I know you've mentioned you've been to, I think you said 3 Saratoga Comic Cons in a row. Have you made any connections, with other Spider person cosplayers or, really just any kind of cosplayer as far as them saying like, hey, I really like your suit and I'd like to, do a photo session or, maybe some type of photographic collaboration?
I have encountered and befriended a small handful of really cool people who, um, like I said, Spider-Man is such a close character to people. So when one Spidey sees another Spidey, it's just like instantly brothers or sisters, whatever type of sibling you want to be to that person. But I've had also people ask about meeting up and collaborating, and I just at where I'm at right now, I'm still feeling it out. You know, they're some of them are strangers, some of them I have actually met. There are people who have contacted me on the internet who are like, "Hey, let's get together, man." And I'm like, "Hey, I appreciate that you feel that way. We'll see. You know, we'll see how it goes." And who the hell are you though? So,
Right.
but
Oh
Certain
yeah,
things.
for sure. It's
yeah,
definitely a,
and
a
this is
new experience.
it is, and I'm not the kind of person who's um I'm no social butterfly at all. Like me showing my face right now is huge. Like
Yeah,
this
no, we
isn't
really appreciate you doing unmasking yourself for this. You didn't have to if you didn't want to.
I thought about it. I was like, am I gonna sit there in a mask? Because
We
I'm
would have
gonna
I would have been cool with it. Either way, it would have been pretty cool.
It's all about making you comfortable. You took time out of your day to
Yeah.
do this for us. We're more than
Yeah,
happy,
exactly.
to accommodate.
yeah. I figured, you know what? Are we allowed to curse? Is that cool?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
Yeah.
figured, fuck it, dude. Fuck it. I'll take the mask off. Um, because it's inevitable anyway. I feel very limited when I can't, you know, take a picture or post a picture of myself where I'm not wearing a mask. And I
Right.
think the mystery is a lot of the fun. Like that's a big part of the fun and the mystery.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, but screw it. Here we are, no mask,
Yeah.
and there's no turning
They have to
back.
watch the interview to have the face reveal. So like, you know, you can
that's
still
right. So if you want to see
keep the
what our
mask
guest
on.
looks like, you have to
Yeah.
watch on YouTube. We don't have video on
Yeah,
Spotify yet.
yeah,
It's coming soon.
yep. And I would love to share this on mine. I made a YouTube channel just for this
Oh
web
yeah,
shredder stuff
definitely.
because, of
Oh
course, like
yeah,
I
for
said, you know, I want to make my own little fan things, and what better way to get it going than with this whole thing we're doing right now? It'd be a
Yeah, no,
great way to
definitely.
start it.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
Kind of
we'll
just
send you the link and
bring
everything if
people
you need
over.
us. You know, yeah, whatever we can do, we'll send it over.
Hell yeah.
So for your
Definitely.
fan film that you want to shoot, do you have you put thought to paper yet, or are you still just kind of brainstorming in what direction you want to go?
I'm definitely still in my head about it. And I think it's probably just going to be like no budget. Just I'm not like I don't know how to approach funding for that kind of thing. So I was just gonna do what I can with what I have and be creative and write it up to where it's, you know, good quality, entertaining, and something people want to watch. Because
Yeah.
as a creator, I won't put something out that I wouldn't want to watch. And I know a lot of people do that. A lot of people, as excited as they are, will put stuff out, but they don't think about what it's like for the people who are going to be
Yeah.
watching it. And that's the
Right.
most
Yeah.
important thing. You want to prioritize what the people watching are going to feel and how they're going to receive your story. So to me, um, that's that's the most important thing is what they're going to feel, pretty much, just to cut myself short because I'm kind of getting a little lost in it, but I'm still in my head about my story. So
Do you
I've
have
got a lot of
like I
cool plans with it though.
okay. I was gonna
Okay.
ask, like, do you have like idea like of a villain or like kind of what characters you would want to put in there?
I would love to do something that hasn't been done yet, and the
Mm.
idea just dawned on me recently that a cool villain, like, you know, Spider-Man has Venom. What
Yeah.
if Web Shredder had Tarantula? Just this
Oh,
big
that
beastly
Okay.
thing that's
yeah,
it's
I
like
like
a
that.
spider, but it's and I've never even heard that idea in the spider world at all. I've never even seen like a tarantula concept art, cosplay, anything like that. So that seems like a potential material for a villain there.
Yeah, you could like you could do your own kind of feel and villain and everything and like make that'd be kind of cool. Like add to the lore. I like that, you know.
Yeah,
Right,
I
And then it
because
could
love
be
to
like your
see
own
that.
little piece that you add to the puzzle.
and I've got my own vision for what Web Shredder is too, and whether or not I stick with that name is, we'll see. I think so. I mean, I came up with it and became very happy and comfortable with it because I thought it sounded
Yeah.
sick. Like Web Shredder, he's like a badass Spider-Man. He's like the darker cinematic one who's not your happy-go-lucky, bubbly type Spider-Man.
Mhm.
If you're naughty, you're gonna get your ass kicked, and that's kind of
Right.
where I'm taking this
Yeah.
character.
Cut
And
loose.
Yeah,
yeah,
kind of like Red Hood.
and now with all of this Spider-Verse stuff happening in the world and in reality, it makes even more sense to go my own way with that and to see if anything can come out of it. And I think it can. I mean, I'm very passionate about it and I think about it all day long. I mean, on the side of my actual work, I'm thinking about Spider-Man all day. And
Mhm.
yeah, I can't stop thinking about it, and I love that you guys are asking questions about it because I don't really get to like share much about it on Instagram or stories or this or that because it's not as interactive as I think it could be. This is extremely interactive for me,
Yeah.
but I
You
mean
get like the
Instagram,
real time.
We
Yeah.
ask the hard hitting
yeah.
questions.
When you're like on Instagram and you're looking for feedback, you're asking people questions, or you're opening up a box for them to ask questions. It's just like they look at it and they put their phone back down,
Right.
and that's it. It's
Go
like,
go
all right,
on their
well, is
day.
anybody
Yeah.
want to do something or what? So this is cool. This is a place where I feel um, really excited to like share this information and just to enthuse about it and just kind of get into it and
Yeah.
throw ideas around because
No, exactly. This is the best way to, like, throw ideas, like, meet everyone. Like you were saying kinda earlier, like, once you're inside a Comic Con and you just, like, walk around for an hour or 2, you kinda get, like you've seen everything. So, like, that's why we kinda, like, started to bring a camera into it, and then we slowly started to talk to people, and then it just made Comic Con that much more interesting. 'Cause you get, like,
Hmm.
interactions and, like, what people are doing and, like, all their personalities. So
I'm gonna
that's
be honest.
we love.
The
Yeah.
the videos were like 50% or more of the reason that I was like, I'm gonna go to Comic Con. These guys at
That's
BatYard
awesome.
Productions are making this event look really fun and engaging. And like, I don't know, you showed it in a way that made me want to be there. And then we met and did our thing. So it
That's
all worked
awesome.
out.
I'm glad we no, like, that makes me really happy, like, we had that influence, like, we never thought that,
That's what it
we
was.
could
Yeah, it was like a very good influence.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, we really
That's
appreciate
really great to hear.
that.
Because a lot of people do say like, I had fun on my con experience, and then they say kind of like what you mentioned. After the first couple of hours, the the anticipation of all the enthusiasm just kind of
Mm,
wears down, and you're like, okay, well, I'm here and I've seen everything. I guess I'll kind of just mingle around and do my
Pretty
own thing.
much. Yep.
Because
At
I've
a
been
certain
to
point,
several cons, and I
yeah.
know the exact sentiment of what you mean.
Yep. At a certain point, you're like you get to where you're kind of, I don't want to say burnt out on it, but you're like you've done it. You've been there a couple hours and you're like, all right, you're
right.
looking around and the amount of people who want to take pictures start to, they all just
Right.
start to disappear and fade out and you're like, all right, I'm going home. This was fun.
Yeah,
But
I
I
have my
definitely get
with
social
Spider-Man,
that.
people want pictures of Spider-Man, so I think there is a bit of a social advantage to dressing up like Spider-Man because for as long as you're there, someone's gonna want to have you stand next to their kid or whatever. They love it, and you entertain it for as long as you've got the energy. I mean, being in that mask for 6 hours and not taking it off, I don't know how much I love that part of it, but I can deal with it. But yeah,
Yeah, I
whatever.
could see like with the breathing, that getting
Yeah,
annoying.
definitely.
So,
Just being enclosed, like every part is
Yeah.
just enclosed in just fabric.
dude,
You get
you've
hot.
got the
Eventually you get, all right, I've been in this hot thing enough. Let me just get some air, kind of, recompose myself.
you've
I
got the
know the
mask.
exact thing you mean, because the mask is always the centerpiece that's like, all right, I have to
Right.
put every bit of, effort into it. And then once you get it on, you're like, okay, it's perfect. Everything looks good. And then, 1 hour turns to 3, 3 turns to 8. And you're like, okay, get this thing off of me. I've had enough for the day. No more pictures, no more pop-up talks. I'm ready to go.
Dude, it's the fabric mask
Mm.
and it's spandex, so the fibers are tight. And then it's the face shell. So there's a hard plastic, usually 3D printed face shell that's inside of the mask. So you're just breathing right against this wall of plastic, and it's condensating, and it's like you're almost like releasing steam every time you exhale. Actually, during the winter, when you go outside after being in
Oh,
the
I could
comments and you
yeah.
breathe, you just everywhere. You can see it, and it's crazy.
You're like a
But
steam engine.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I for the first con, I took my mask off once in my Jeep, and it was like I forgot what air felt like because I was in it for 3 hours before I took it off. I kind of did like a halftime thing. Did my rounds, took the pictures, got people hyped up, and I was like, okay, I need to go like chill, and because it was physically exhausting, but it was also very mentally exhausting for me because that's a lot of people for this guy. I'm not like I said, I'm not super social or a big fan of being around so many people in such a small crowded space. But that
Yeah,
day
I
it
get
was all right. It was an exception, and I was more than happy to do it.
yeah.
No,
It's
that's
like
great.
nice
That's
too.
great.
Yeah, like once you kind of get into your character, you kind of like be that character for like at least that moment in time, or like that period.
Yeah.
Like you could really get into it, which is always a fun time. Whenever I'm at a con and I like have I'm dressed up as a character. I'm like talking to people. I try to like do the interview in character. It's hard to
Yeah.
like kind of
Yeah, you have
hit
to.
that balance.
You totally have to.
And I noticed like people get a little bit more warmed up to us, like when we're in costume too. Like if we're talking to
Hmm.
someone, they're like, "Oh, they're dressing up for like there's times where we're just kind of like have a backyard share. I mean, people still talk to us, but it's definitely a different feel, like being a character.
Right. Yep. And with this suit, it kind of comes with the more bubbly Spider-Man. This is
Mhm.
the classic. It's actually based on the final swing in No Way Home, so it's gonna be what Tom
Oh,
Holland's
that's
new suit
cool.
looks like.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
So you kind of have to, if you're gonna wear this suit, you got to walk around. You gotta do the walk, and you gotta walk the walk and talk the talk. So when I'm saying hi to people, I'm like, oh hey, like sounding kind of like,
Right,
and they're like, oh
yeah.
my god, he's just like Tom Holland, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. Until I show up as the web shredder, and I'm like, what do you want? Like
Right,
it's
right.
a completely different suit, it's a
Yeah.
completely different version,
Mhm.
and I'm really looking forward to hitting my first con as the actual web shredder and not Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, I'd love to see the costume and everything together. That'd be great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
much
I
different
just
energy.
I didn't want to shift gears too much, but this is a personal question I wanted to ask. I know you mentioned Web Shredder is your original design. Have you switched up, like the feel of the mask at all? Like, did you give yourself, kind of I guess, mesh vents, kind of in some key points where, you can release some of that build up heat and things of that so you don't get overheated as quickly, or, maybe you have like a detachable mouthpiece for you to eat and drink while you're in the suit. Just what kind of modifications have you made to fit what you need is more so what I wanted to ask.
That is a good question because I think it's important for me to innovate something if I'm going to keep wearing this mask. I was actually thinking today about how to take the face shell and maybe have like mesh piece, like think of a window screen, that sort of material in that area versus a plastic shell that's a few millimeters thick, which is a lot harder to breathe through, whereas a screen is like nothing. And then just the fabric over the screen. And I was just wondering, could that work? How would that affect the shape of the mask, if at all? So that is a very good question because it's important to be able to breathe. So alongside of thinking about what are the web shredders webs like and what is this like, I'm trying to put my own twist on the entire suit from top to bottom in every piece. Like I'm thinking about this stuff isn't coming out of my wrists, and as we've found out, I'm not the tech savvy Spider-Man, so I'm not building these cool web shooters. Maybe I'm doing something with, maybe it's coming out of a like a backpack, a small built-in backpack, and there's like retracting ropes or something. And
That's a good idea.
That'd be an
there's so
interesting
many
twist.
ideas that you can do, and it's still Spidey, but it's a different Spidey and his different way of doing things, his different ideas from a different universe. Because I don't want to follow the same formula, no pun intended, for how his webs come out and whatever the suit does.
Mm.
I want to do my thing with it and really be original as I can be. I mean, I'm obviously taking inspiration from an existing character, but I think there's endless possibilities for what you can do with your version of a character.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. Like I like that. I like that tarantula idea. Like, kind of make your own thing, like a reverse Spider-Man, like the opposite. Like he turned into a
Right.
grotesque
Yeah.
monster instead
yeah,
of like a
Yeah.
human.
Because I've seen other fan films and you know, obviously I watch Spider-Man stuff. I read about it. I'm consuming so much Spider-Man stuff, and it's still like all the same classic villains, and you got your Green Goblin and this and that, and that's all cool and stuff. But I think there could be more, and I want to open
Yeah,
that door. Well, if no
yeah,
one else is, I'm
yeah.
kicking it down, dude. So
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Because always when you draw inspiration, from a famous piece of media or a very popular piece of media, for a limited time, it's always nice to take that as a basic shell and then, just formulate it and shape it to what you want to do with it. So you don't necessarily fit in the same mold that everyone else is
right,
doing because, you know, creativity in the arts, everybody's always being inspired by someone else. So the idea is you
yeah,
have somebody else, maybe 10, 15 years, or even at the next con you go to, might see something you're doing and like, hey, I really like that idea. It's something innovative, it's ingenuitive, and I really, outside of this person, I don't know anybody else that's done it. Let me kind of follow that he did and try to do something similar. And who and the cycle just continues until
hmm
eventually, oh hey, 50 years down the road, I was just doing an idea like that way back when I was younger, and it inspired somebody, and here it is. I'm seeing it on the silver screen.
right. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the goal. I want to take it as far as I can, and you know, s- I don't want to say too much about what my dreams are here because
Right.
the
No,
kind
I
of thing you
get it.
got to keep to yourself. You know, you don't want to talk too
Yeah,
much about it while
Yeah.
it's in
You
the
don't wanna count your
works.
chickens before they
I like that. That's very old fashioned. I like that.
hatch. So,
But
eh,
exactly.
like, like, speaking, like, of your fan film, like, I know you don't wanna reveal too much, but, like, are you thinking more, like, feature length or, like, shorts? Like, do you kinda, like, have an idea of, like, that's,
I
like,
would
a big struggle
like
for us.
to do, yeah, it is. I would like to do something that's a length where you can sit down and get comfortable and
Mm,
like kick back and watch. Nothing that's 20 minutes where you sit down in your computer chair and you're kind of like you can't like really kick back and get comfortable and enjoy this work.
hmm,
I want to do something that people can feel like they could even have a watch party for, if anything. But I think to get to that point, I'm gonna have to do a lot of probably smaller things to just sort of build the character and bring awareness to the character and whatever comes with um, getting your take on Spidey in this case recognized in the world. So I don't think that I'll be able to just jump straight to a full length, but maybe some little bits of this and that may not need to go in the main story. But it is all just an endless storm of ideas floating
oh,
around
yeah,
in my mind right now,
I
and I
get
just
that.
I imagine all of it at once, and
Yeah, we've
it's
been
uh,
there. For
it's
sure.
like it's so relatable to the actual character too, because his sensory overload. It just that you can hear it all, you can feel it all. Everything is so overwhelming for Spider-Man.
Fire
I exactly the Peter tingle. I feel that in real life thinking about it. So it's like, damn,
yeah. That's a good
that's
energy. Yeah,
great.
that's good. Yeah, you gotta run with that. Yeah, when you feel like
right.
that kinda energy, it's good to go with your gut.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
it's
I
good
think
you still have
sort
a
of
lot of. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
no, you're good. I think that starting with little chunks here and there is just probably the way to go, and then we'll get to the full thing. You got to practice. That's the thing. You got to
Yeah,
Yeah,
practice. You have to produce something. Feedback is very important. You want to make sure that you put something out small that people actually are like, oh, hey, this is cool. Let's see more of that. You know, let's
yeah.
take that to the next level, and we go from there. But yeah, I would like to do both things. I want to do it all, and it sounds so big and crazy, but I think that I'm capable of doing it. I've got the creative ambition to do it, and I've got the time to do it because I'm self-employed. I own my own business. I have all the time in the world to do this stuff, and
Great.
that's
that's
great.
so why the hell not? I'd be stupid if I didn't because I feel so passionately about it. I'd be wasting so many great ideas, and I definitely back myself with the that statement. I do. I have really cool ideas, and I want to see them realized.
Yeah, and it's always good to have a lot of, just ideas, just constantly playing. So that way you're like, oh, I like this idea. And, you might think on it for a time. And then the next one is like,
Right.
oh, I like this idea. And, you just follow along with it for maybe, day, 2 day, week. And you're like, you know what? I think this idea is the one I want to, experiment with. And, you do it, you film it, you shoot it, maybe put some small tweaks, edits. And then you're like, you know what? I did it and I said I was going to do it. And that, being creative, it's all about holding yourself to, I have this project I want, no matter, how big of a dream it is, as far as, a short, like saying you want to put out 100 shorts in a year. Or, I say, by the end of the year, I want to put thought to paper for a feature length film I would like to shoot one day. It's all about, making those goals, sticking with them and hitting them, even if some of them, like you said, are big and grandiose. But those are always the ideas that turn out to be the best. I mean, look at
Dude,
some of the other
you've got to
films
shoot
people
for the
called.
stars. You have
Mhm.
to. You have to think big, because when you think big, that's just so much more of a shove to actually get this shit done. If you're just thinking about, oh man, I just want to get one clip of me walking around town as Spider-Man and I want that to have an impact. It's probably not going to have an impact. There's a million other people doing
Yeah,
that. But
that's good
if
for
you're
like
like,
promo kind of
it
or
is, it is good. It's good for awareness.
right.
But if you're aiming big and you're shooting high, dude, it puts you in a mindset where you're actually doing more than if you were aiming low. It just kind of sets you up to achieve a greater goal. And I've learned that with running a business, and the same thing applies to doing this, because this, as well as my business, is my work. And it's the same kind of approach. You can take it as far as you want to take it. It just depends on where that is. And for me, I would love to be one of the next live actions. And there's nothing that's saying that's never going to happen. So you have to aim high and see what you
Oh
can
yeah,
do, and
Mhm.
you're going to get somewhere. That's almost a guarantee. You will get somewhere if you care that much about it. And it may not be, you may not be the next Spider-Man movie, but you might make your own Spider-Man movie, and that might end up being more special to you and worth all of your time. And I'm pretty open to anything as long as I'm being creative and doing this shit that I love and just making people happy, because ultimately it's to entertain people and to give them something to be stoked about and like excited about. So as long as that's the result, we're good. We did it. We made it happen. We wanted to. We said we were gonna, and we did. And we're rocking and rolling now, and everybody's stoked on the
yeah,
web shredder.
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
No, it feels like a conversation like we needed to have like right now because like we're about to release our movie, so like it's like it's cool timing with everything, and
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
if we'll definitely let you know, like we'll definitely have tips on like how to do this. So like we made ours with like zero budget. We just like whoever wanted to be in it and to be in it. That was the
Likewise,
fun of
yeah.
the whole thing. Um, and like honestly, like the no budget gives it its own charm because it's almost like a Monty Python kind of situation, like with there's no horses, so you get coconuts, like kind of thing. Like you kind of have to improvise, like if you want to lean into the joke, depending on like how you want to, you know, what you're toning, you definitely got to like
Right.
figure out your tone, like how you want to showcase it for sure.
Mhm.
But yeah, we'll definitely, we'll let you know how this whole endeavor goes and everything. Like, well, we got I think 2 months till we like showcase it to people, and we'll probably put it on YouTube at some point the whole thing. Um, but yeah, we're like kind of seeing how a live audience reacts to it for sure. Like,
Allow me to help promote. I would be happy to. I'll
oh, that'd
share the
be
word, of course.
wow. We really
We
appreciate
appreciate that greatly
it.
because we
I
had that
mean,
film, and I have another project that I'm kind of working on that I haven't given too much detail about, but I think I'm kind of happy with the ideas I've written down and how I want it to go. So, definitely hearing you talk about how, you have ideas and you have,
Yeah,
particular ideas you want to do and get done. It's like, okay, as somebody else in my same shoes and thought process, he's got an
put on the
idea and
fire.
he's still working on it.
yeah,
And he's like,
definitely.
I've got it and it's not going anywhere. This is going to be the one that I pour everything into.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and you got to surround yourself with the people who are going to slap you on the ass and make you do it. Because
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
without
Exactly.
without those people pushing you, you're gonna stall and you're gonna question it and you're gonna get sidetracked and have your doubts and stuff. But if you've got people who are like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be working on that. I'm waiting. You told me, let's go. Let's get this done. And then before you know it, you're producing something. You've got something to show. Otherwise, or otherwise you wouldn't without those people kind of making you do it. And that's something I learned, is to surround yourself with the people who are going to support your ideas and push you to get to them, and support you the whole way. So
Yeah.
I don't have too much reach on my Instagram. I don't have like this huge following on the web shredder, but there are diehards, believe it or not. There are like a handful of like diehard web shredder people. They hit me up a lot, and they're like, "Oh, dude, when are you gonna post again? You're like the most badass cosplay Spidey whatever that I've come across," and that means so much to me, because I don't want to just be seen as another dude in a Spider-Man suit. I want to do my thing with it, and that's just like that's who I am as a person. I want to put my creative twist on whatever it is that I'm passionate about. So
Yeah, and it's
we
good to
got each
have
other.
like those early fans who really just like, okay, even if
Mhm.
it's like just 5 people, I know 5 people a day are looking forward to, seeing about it, hearing about it. And that's definitely, another part of the creative push. Like, all right, I have people who enjoy what I'm doing. So let me at least make sure I'm regularly updating my content so they have something to look forward to, something, like to show their friends, like, hey, I'm following this, pretty cool cosplayer. He's just getting started. And, here's like 15 pics that he did of this suit he's making. And then, word of mouth starts spreading. And then from word of mouth, it turns into, hey, have you heard any updates about the new suit that this guy's made, the new
Mhm.
comic, et cetera, so on and so forth. And then it's like, from that 5 people, you've turned from 5 fans to 10, from 10 to 30, and so on and so forth. That rock started rolling down the hill, and it's picked up so much more speed now.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm one of those people who believes in quality over quantity. So when you start with just a smaller, more quality audience, I think that's a better way to get it off the ground. And then you acquire quantity.
No, I'm
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Happy to share the wisdom.
yeah.
It's
Sure.
just I've experienced it in my other work. I have a much bigger following on my actual, which I'm not disclosing yet. Maybe we'll get to that point, but my main Instagram account or whatever, I have an Instagram and a YouTube, and they have a big following, and I would rather have just a small chunk of those people, because they're the quality group, over the number. I don't really care about the number. I care about the people within that number who care about what I do.
Mhm.
You know, you scratch my back, I scratch your back.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
here to we're here to bounce off each other and support each other. I don't really
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
number's not important to me. It's the quality of the people that's important. And
yeah, and you only need that small, like, little audience, like that diehard audience, or keep going, or like
yeah,
project, or help whatever.
right.
Like positive keep the show, and like it's awesome. Like the more Comic Cons we've kind of been doing, like interviews, like we don't do a lot, but, like we try to do as many as we can during a year, and like we just getting that one recognition, like, from a comic book, I mean, from a Comic Con, like, really just, like, makes the whole thing worthwhile, and, talking to people like you, or, like, just meeting everyone, just, like, everyone has a different story, and I think that's what makes it, like, really interesting. You
Yeah,
always get something you never thought you would hear, or, like, an idea or a thought, just, like, fuel your fire.
hmm
absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Um change of pace quick. I'm curious what got you guys into the cosplay thing. If whatever dressing up, whatever like you want to call it, cosplay is pretty
So
Yeah,
the
that's a good
popular
question.
word for it.
if Josh doesn't mind, I'll go first just
Yeah,
to
go
get
ahead,
him
sir.
time to kind of
I've
think.
been talking enough.
Me too.
So for me, I'm an enjoyer of cosplay. It's cosplay is an investment, and right now I don't have the
Mm,
funds to really get into it. But when I see somebody, whether it be somebody with 5 million followers or somebody with 3 followers, I treat every cosplayer like, okay, they're working on a new project that they're pouring their heart into. And so I want to, give them that boost like, oh, hey, somebody else just gave me a positive comment. They made my likes on Instagram, Facebook, what have you, go up one more person. So I'm getting exposure because, me personally, I'm a big anime fan and also an enjoyer of cartoons. So,
Yeah,
anytime I see somebody, wanting to, I prefer to say cosplay. I don't prefer to call it just dress up because when you say it like that, it's like, okay, well, now that's kind of discouraging. Cosplay makes it feel like it has its own uniqueness to it, which it all does.
it does.
But just to get back to my point, seeing people put effort and a lot of creative effort, especially into, making sure the costume's just right for, a trademarked and licensed character, or to see them put original designs, prints, blueprints, the whole, 9 yards into an original character that they've been working on. To me, it's all a great process. Everything from, when you're first making the molds from, styrofoam as your rough drafts all the way to you doing a video on the sewing machine saying like, all right, that's the last stitch, let's try it on and see how it looks, all the way to painting the small details.
it's so special, man. That feeling that's pretty much like the whole point is that feeling when you're about to try on this project you've been working on for so long and you just the first time I put on mine, I was like I couldn't describe the feeling. It was the coolest thing I had ever felt. I felt a lot of cool shit in my life, but this was different.
Mm-hmm. I definitely know what you mean because I still get in costume for Halloween and other events where I'm like, okay, I know I have something to fit a theme per se, not necessarily okay, I have the shirt, shoes, and I think a jacket to match this one design of a character. So let me throw that on and just try to, fit in quick and easy instead of putting effort into it, which there's nothing wrong with doing either or.
Right.
If one makes you more comfortable than the other, then, by all means, be comfortable in how you want to be seen. Because definitely, taking 30 pictures with random people who don't know the first thing about you, that's exhausting for any person, no matter how seasoned or amateur you are in cosplay. And, I've definitely asked people, hey, would you mind if I take a quick photo shoot with you? Or, hey, can I grab a quick pic? I want to send this to a XYZ person I know this is their favorite person. And it definitely,
Mm-hmm.
definitely seeing, being in the finished piece you've been working on and having somebody ask you for that one little small capture at time. To you, maybe, it might be a quick thing, but to them, they're like, man, I really hope that this person that I took this picture with 5 years ago is still, doing good and, they still are going strong with what they were enjoying to do. Because it's easy to get into the creativeness, like, all right, I'd like to cosplay this character, this character, this character. And then once you do it, you're like, I've been, dressing up and getting these characters into persona for so long, I've kind of burnt myself out and I've lost my, own sense of self, if that makes sense personally.
Yeah.
But it definitely what you're saying about seeing the final piece and having everybody just give you your due diligence and flowers for it is the piece that what a lot of people enjoy the most. It's not, so much the oohs and ahs, it's the like it's the holy shit. This is the greatest thing I've seen.
And you can feel it people are happy for you too. They're like just as happy as you are. It's just kind of a whole feeling with everybody together. You know, everyone's feeling the same vibe, the same energy. They know how hard you
Yeah.
worked on it, and they get to be the person who appreciates it. I feel that. I feel that so good, man.
Yeah, it's
I guess
always a fun feeling.
yeah, I guess with me, like, it started with Halloween, but, like, it started with, like, Halloween, like, I was always super elaborate with my, like, Halloween costumes, like, as much as I could be, but then, like, I would use those costumes to, like, make mini movies, like, from,
Hmm.
like, middle school, high school, so forth, to this. So then, like, I just kinda dove into the movie making aspect, and then we slowly got into Comic Cons, like, just going, just bringing a camera and just messing around, and then I was like, "Oh, we kinda have these Halloween costumes in the back catalog," so I just kinda brought those out at the same time, and then it kinda evolved with, this whole interview with this long, like, really get to know everyone, dive deeper, because, like, at Comic Con, you can only talk to so many people for so long, like, trying to get, so much information.
Hmm.
So that's kinda
Right.
where it happened with that, like, the fan films and, like, the Comic Cons kinda, like, fed into each other, but there's definitely some
Yeah.
cosplays, like, I have in the back of my mind that I would like to do, like, a little bit more handmade situation, I have some that I kinda tweaked and did my own thing, but it's mostly, like, I gotta like, maybe change one or two, like, small details, but nothing, like, major to make it, like, a complete I would like to, get into more of the hands-on process.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what this is. It's just a suit that I picked up, and it's a very different, um, whatever the word. It's a very different thing than putting on a
Right,
suit that you made, and
right.
you
Mhm.
have to sort of embody different character depending on what one you put on. And drawing blank here. I'm just kind of like I'm also in agreement here.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. That I mean that's where it starts. That's you I think when you feel yourself in a costume for the first time and you're like, what more can I do? This feels good. This feels really cool. And then you start wanting to make them and you want to explore that. And that's what it was like for me. Getting into cosplay for me was kind of a funny story. You want to hear about it?
Yeah, no, definitely,
Please,
we're all
please
Because
ears.
go
That's why
ahead.
we're here, yeah.
because it's super funny. I guess it all started with, well, what pushed it into happening was my group chat of friends. Okay, and these are skateboarders from the world of skateboarding. You know, I come from a skateboarding background. That's
Right.
what Web
Big
Shredder is.
web
He's always got a skateboard.
yeah.
Yeah, um, and they would one day, I don't know why. I don't know. I think it's because they knew I liked Marvel and Spider-Man. One of them photoshopped my head onto a Spider-Man body, and
Really cool.
they sent the picture, and I was like, "Damn, I look kind of cool. What about this live action Spider-Man? Put my head on that one." And they would just send all these pictures of me, and then it got crazy. They would start photoshopping like my head onto Spider-Man's body and he'd be crawling up a building, or they would Photoshop my head onto a Spider-Man who was just like chilling in Times Square. And it just got so hilarious and ridiculous that one of my buddies was like, "You just need to get a suit, dude. Just get a fucking Spider-Man suit. I'll get the Spider-Man suit for you and send it to you." And he did. He was like, I ordered it. I'm sending it to you.
That's awesome. That's a good
That
sign.
was
Wow.
this. That was this one. And it showed up. I was, kind of a little nervous to put it on. I was like, I wanted to. I was blushing a little bit, and I went in the room and in the other room where nobody could see me at first, and I put it on. And I swear, as soon as it zipped up, I was like, "Whoa! Like this is cool. This is crazy." And like I knew immediately, I'm definitely gonna put this on again tomorrow and the next day, and I'm gonna become obsessed with it. So it, I would say it started out with just a love of the characters, Marvel and stuff like that. I like Batman too. I'm not like I don't hate DC or anything. I'm not really like that into DC, but Batman is my dude. I fucking love Batman.
Yeah,
That's
everybody
my
has their
DC
favorites
guy.
from each side.
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly. But aside from my own personal passion for these superhero characters, what pushed me to start putting a suit on was this joke. It started as just a joke, and I wish I had the original. It's probably on my previous phone, the original picture of the photoshopped head on the I'm pretty sure it was the what's the second movie? Far From Home. It was the
Right.
new black and red
Oh, okay.
updated suit. So I was like, I'm kind of more into the red and black Spider-Man anyway. I just think it looks badass. And it just left an impression on me. So one thing led to the next. I got the suit, put it on, and I was like, all right, we have a whole new purpose now. We
Yeah.
have a we just
That's great.
opened a new door, and it was probably like a month later that I went to the Saratoga Comic Con and met Josh, and just was just living in it. I was owning it and just having the time of my life. So that's pretty much how I got into it, just as a joke, like a beautiful, stupid joke, but it made sense. Like I
Yeah, no,
wouldn't
no.
have
Yeah,
wanted it to happen any other way. That's like it's the funniest way it could have happened too for me because
Yeah. It's nice when it kinda, like, accidentally happens or you, like, kinda fall into place with, like, certain scenario or situation.
hmm
So it feels more organic that way, you know?
yeah, exactly. Like
especially
it
with how
has a
they
funny
started with
story.
photoshopping your head. That's a classic way of like,
Yeah.
hey, here's the thing I made of you. You should try this. And then at the beginning, so a regular person might be like, yeah, okay, I'll get around to it, eventually. But your friends just kept, just doing it and doing it, and then it was like, okay, you know what? I'm actually gonna try it. And
Yep.
here you are now. You've been to 3 Comic Cons. You're actively having fun with it, which is what is always a big part of it. The first time you did it, you were like, okay, let me just see how I feel about doing it. And then you were like, okay, I like this. I want to try having to a
I
little bit of
love
fun and live it
this.
up. Now it's
Yeah.
like, this is high octane. We're kicking it into the next gear.
Damn right it is. I mean, nothing gets me more pumped. I mean, I don't care what it is. I feel like nothing turns me on more than dressing up in my Spider-Man suit and like creating a story for it. That's just kind of where I'm at now. I'm 33 years old. I've done a lot of cool stuff in my lifetime, but now where I'm at, I'm tired with my work. I mean, I love my work. Um, and I'm going to keep doing it for as long as I can. So I don't mean to say I'm tired of it. I'm tired from it. And
Hmm
Right.
this has been such a nice little side street for me because the main Instagram is it's exhausting. There's just so much demand for you and your attention and what you do, and this was just a little side project that I ended up falling more in love with doing this than my main gig, which share a little bit with you. I'm an artist. I manufacture my own and paint on my own skateboards of full scale and miniature scale. So
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's
it's
nice.
all
Yeah.
skateboarding, man. I come from that world, and that's why I think William Spencer is such a cool dude because he's Spider-Man. He's the Andrew Garfield stunt double, and we
Mm.
talk on Instagram all the time. You know, he
Oh
followed me
wow.
one day, and I was like,
Oh
"Whoa, what the
wow.
fuck?"
Yeah, that's wild.
So he's the best of both worlds, as far as I'm concerned. He's
Yeah.
crazy skateboarder, a very unique, creative skateboarder, just breaking all the rules, going against the grain like a mother, and he's also Spider-Man. So like that's another goal, like to collaborate with him. And I don't think it would be that hard to do. I think
Yeah.
something like this interview would,
Mhm.
I think it would help me achieve that because you can probably
Yeah.
see that I am a real person. I'm not like some weird, well, I mean, I'm weird, but like I'm not like a weird stranger who's just
Yeah,
like, hey,
it's
want
weird
to
not to
meet
be
up?
weird, you know? Yeah, you gotta yeah, everyone
Exactly.
You got
has
to
their
have your
Well, I
own
mean,
quirkiness to you.
yeah.
yeah. So I think if I was like, "Hey, William, check out this interview. I'm a real guy. I mean business, dude. Let's collaborate and like make a cool video or something." I think just the most satisfying thing I would get out of that is the actual work. It's not like people fanning out or anything like that. It's just to get to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that work. That's
Yeah,
where my passion is. So that's a fun little thing to sprinkle in there. The
oh,
whole
yeah,
William
definitely.
Spencer thing.
Well, yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, well, if there's any like, we'll send you, like, how kinda how we, like, we set up and other ideas, like, want to get your own ball rolling or anything, we'll definitely help out wherever we can.
Yeah.
Awesome. I appreciate that very
And
much.
I
We
Yeah,
should
no
do this
problem.
again next time too. This is sick.
Yeah,
yeah, I wanted to touch
definitely
on
come back
something.
on.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on something you said very quickly. And I think this is something, even as a content creator, what everybody needs. You said you're not tired of it, but you're tired from it. Your main job you do running, your personal Instagram and business, and then you took this almost as a way to, decompress and let other creative freedoms and just let
Yes.
everything else go and just immerse yourself in something that's a little outside your, I'm not going to say field of expertise, but the field of what you're used to. It's still
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
same realm, but not in the same circle, if that makes sense.
It
And
does.
I,
Definitely.
definitely, Josh and, our tech guy and our other co host, Matt Crispy, they asked me to come on like 2 years ago when the Mortal Kombat movie was released cinematically for the reboot of the universe. And I was like, hey, it was a lot of fun. Would you guys mind if I came on again for another episode? And, I've just been a part of the show ever since. And, even doing these interviews, Josh approached me and was like, hey, man, would you like to, get in with me, help do some interviews? Just it'll be a small change of pace, still kind of the same format of what we do, but it'll be a little more personal. And it was, in the beginning, I was really kind of nervous because we've interviewed a few different people. And, like this right here is one of my favorite interviews. It's really fun. We're all easy going. We're having a couple of laughs here and there.
Yeah.
We're
And
best friends,
everything's just,
bro.
it's just flowing all in motion.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. I had no idea there was going to be a co-host up until like 5 minutes before we
Yes.
got up.
Oh,
I was like,
I'm
oh,
sorry about that. I should have mentioned
oh, all right, we're having a
that.
party. All right, let me get my party hat.
Well,
Yeah, this is crazy cool.
yeah,
I'm glad you're here.
no, like, well, the thing is, like, there's a couple interviews I just did, like, solo or one, like, by myself. I love having a co-host because there's times where, like, I'm trying to come up with a question or, like, to, like, put together my thoughts and then, like, it's great to have Jerry, jump in, with, like, so there's never any dead air and, like, you can kinda, like,
Yeah,
comprehend your thoughts and get your notes written down. Now we're
yeah,
breaking down,
totally.
like, how we do this, so the secret's
Yeah,
out.
you're tapping each
We
other's in,
always
man. I
bounce
get it.
back and forth.
I get
Yeah.
that. Yeah, when you're on the ropes, dude, you need your boy to come on in and
Yeah.
pick it up. I get that for sure. And that's
Yeah.
why I asked you guys, what got you into it? Because I feel like, we got a three-way here. It's not like you guys together are interviewing me. It's like we're all here getting to know each other. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we try
I mean,
to,
that's the way I
even though
see
it's
it.
an interview, it's still like, we're just as much a part of it as you are. So, all the questions you have, we try to, give our answers and our input on, and just, just have a friendly conversation where everybody's just relaxed. We talk about, things we like, things we do relating to, a hobby, job, things that got us started, projects we're working on, and, kind of so on and so forth.
Yeah, and I'm just as interested to hear your answers to my questions. Like I want to know what you're about, man. I mean, I'm so relaxed right now, and I haven't even had my Friday night glass of wine. I'm super chilling. This is super
Yeah,
cool. It's a lot more. I mean, I knew it would be cool. I've done interviews. I've talked to strangers before. Not that you're strangers, but like I've been in these situations
yeah,
before,
no, I
and
totally get that.
so I mean, I feel like I can do it when I have to do it, but I wasn't ready for how fucking cool this one was gonna be.
Yeah, we always try to make it, like, as open for anyone at BatYard. I feel like that's kinda like our motto, like, it's like, it's open to anyone, like, you don't have to have any acting chops or anything to do the project, just come on in,
Hmm.
all the welcome,
The
so,
water's
like,
fine.
that's what we
Just
try to
grab a floaty and float on in.
do.
Yeah, yeah, cool.
Exactly.
I feel that. Yeah, I mean, I'm floating,
Yeah, I
floating along,
definitely
man.
don't. We definitely appreciate you taking, time out of your busy
Yeah,
evening to
100%.
interview with us. And, we didn't want to, go too much longer and hold you up from, a night of relaxation. It is Friday night. So if Josh had any more questions, I had, just like one or two more small questions. And I thought, we could wrap things on up.
Yeah, no, I
If you
think
want, I
so.
mean, I've committed my night to this, and the pleasure is genuinely mine. So for as long as you need me here, I'm happy to hang out. I'm just gonna crawl in my bed and probably watch a movie or something. So this is
Yeah,
a better way to spend my
Yeah.
time anyway.
yeah,
So it's cool.
we're more like a movie based than our podcast. So like usually when it's like us three, you know, if we have our other co Matt, we trade off movies and everything. So usually for the first time with the guest, we just do an interview, kind of get to know each other, and then like if we come by and that's all we always want to get back on. If there's like ever a movie or anything you want to throw at us, like it could be all the way left field or it could be like Spider-Man related, whatever you want. We're always open to that, like that kind of conversation. 'Cause someone's always gonna
Yeah.
pick something like I'm never gonna like seek out myself or I haven't heard of. So it's like a good
Hmm.
reason to watch new movies or watch new content. It's like, this
Right.
Jerry has that I would never thought of, Matt here. But like, yeah, we always like to have the guests to be included into that too. So like usually, like we have like a short, which is a cartoon, like 9, 20 minutes, like something like that. And like a movie. So like try to like tie them in together in a small way. So you can like an actor, director. It doesn't have to be tied in if you don't want to, but like sometimes I like having themes and stuff. So like we usually try to go for. But if there's anything you want to throw our way, like just like a shot in the dark, or it could be anything. We're always open to have people on and
Cool.
join the party and conversation for sure. So
Cool. Good. I'm definitely keeping that in mind because sometimes it's hard to catch me with candid thoughts, but after the fact, I'll be like, "Oh shit, I should have asked them
yeah,
that." So we'll
yeah.
do it
Usually
next
have to
time.
write them down and everything too. Like, when I have like a schedule. So it's like if I'm on the spot, I'm like, oh, what movie? Like, oh, shit. Like, I usually have like a build ideas. So that's usually how
Dude,
I
it's so funny you say that because it took me 33 years to figure out and realize and learn that you have to write stuff down.
go.
If you
Hmm.
don't, you're just going to keep losing it. If you have it
Right.
written down, you can always refer to it. And I mean, I'm still adopting the concept and it's helping me so much. I mean, especially in this past year. It took my whole life to learn to just write stuff down. Otherwise, it's gone.
Yeah, it's
Bye
gone in
bye.
the ether. Like you think
Yeah.
of it, like, oh, I'll remember that. And then try to go back to
Yeah.
completely
Yep.
forgot it. So,
I know.
especially like
You
It's
tell
the
yourself you'll
classic
remember it.
creative dilemma. You try to put a pin in a thought, and then the pin's still there, but the rope leading to it has gotten intertwined in something mundane that happened that was of no relation, and you can't get back there.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like
Yep. Oh yeah.
ideas and like storyboards, this, that, whatever. Just ways to always ever evolve
Right.
creatively, physically, mentally. So it's always a development, which is good. It's good to grow.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
um,
I agree. I'm all about it. Growth
Fair
is
enough.
important. I don't think people embrace growth enough. Very
yeah,
important.
exactly. It's not like you become an adult and you're like, I'm grown up. You always gotta keep going.
This is my code, okay? This is what I live by. The older I get, the more I try to be my younger self. So I'm doing all this responsible adult shit so that I can still be who I really am. So
Right.
there's this saying in skateboarding where it's a quote from a legendary skateboarder. It's you don't stop skateboarding because you get old. You get old because you stop skateboarding. And that has lived with me my whole life. So I don't stop having fun because I get old. I get old because I stop having fun.
Right.
So
Yeah.
everything I do as an adult, as a responsible human being, it's to stay true to myself and my passions and to be able to keep doing them and enjoy them and be able to back it up too. If someone's like, what the fuck are you doing dressing up like Spider-Man? Shouldn't you be working? I'm like, I just clocked out of a 12-hour day. Leave me the hell alone. I'm gonna
Yeah.
dress up like Spider-Man now. You're gonna
Yeah.
deal with it
Yeah.
because
Yeah, man. Let me have my fun. Let me be me.
Exactly. As
right,
long as you
that's right.
contribute to society or doing what you gotta get done,
Yep.
you're not hurting
Yeah.
anyone, having a good time.
Except, I mean, I'm out here helping people. I'm fighting crime and shit. What are you
Yeah.
coming after me for? Like,
Yeah.
come on. But really, it's like it's the people who come after you for having fun that never discovered how to have their own fun. It seems that way.
Yeah.
I know
They're
people
in
like
their own
that.
misery, so like they like to put people in categories. They're in misery and misery of company, so you gotta be miserable too. It's the
Yeah.
motto that people should have, like people should bring each other up, and like
100%.
yeah, really
No,
pushing each other.
I shut that stuff down right away. I'm like, you don't
Yeah.
like it, you can look the other way, and we can still, we can still both, stand in the same room. It's
Yeah.
cool. We're still gonna go to sleep tonight. We're gonna wake up tomorrow. We're gonna be human beings, but you don't have to mind what I'm doing because
Yeah.
I'm not minding what you're doing. So don't worry about what I'm doing. It's
And
all
most
good.
most of those people are online, they're like behind a screen. Like, if I ever had a conversation face to face with someone about like whatever, it's usually goes pretty well. It's like, okay, you're a real person, you're a real person.
Right.
It's easier to kind of attack people.
Mm-hmm. Dude, nobody's gonna fuck with Hercules in real life. It's not happening.
Yeah, exactly.
And for anybody watching this interview, Josh dressed up as Hercules when we first met. So we're talking just for some clarification.
Yeah, yes.
But it is
Contact.
it's like that. I've encountered the same thing so many times. I mean, I've just lost count of the amount of people who said unkind things online and then just kind of smile and have nothing to say in real life. It's like just be like
Yeah.
that all the time, Don't be an ass. Just
You gotta have
Yeah.
your own
Some people definitely put on the fake smile, like, haha, I'm happy for you, but they really are only giving like half effort into really putting, good energy and positivity into what you're doing.
shit. And I'm
yeah.
all for like open criticism, like, if there's something, you like about anything. I'd rather have like a constructive criticism. Like tell me why. They're like,
Absolutely.
oh, this sucks. Okay, thanks. Why do you think that way?
Why?
And
Yeah,
there's
tell me
nothing.
why.
Yeah, and then there's nothing to back it up. It's like, all right, you're just a troll, So there's like no merit
Yeah.
to it. So like,
See,
I'm
that's
I'm
when you're just
definitely open to conversation for sure.
that's when you just shut that down. But if they do have something helpful, then I'm all ears. I'm the
Yeah,
same way. Like I don't want any of the sugar. I want all of the salt. I want that brutal honesty because the sugar's not helping me improve anything.
no,
It's making me feel good, but like if there are flaws or I can't really call them flaws because your work is your work, but the way people take it, the way people perceive it, if there is feedback, I think you should be open to it. You should always be open to feedback
yeah,
and just be mindful of who you're getting the feedback from because there are just stupid people. There are idiots
yeah,
on the internet
yeah,
and there's nothing substantial about what they say. So you have to know what fights are yours and what aren't. And most of them are not your fight. They're just stupid people online who don't have, they don't have a life. They don't have a hobby. They don't have anything really going. So they're just like a fly in the room.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's just like I with our movie that's coming out. Like I want people to be open to like criticize it and everything. It's one of those like I'm happy. Like I kind of want. I just want people to talk about it. So I don't really care what they say as long as they're having a conversation about it. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Or people could be as harsh as they want. I'm looking forward to that too.
People just they get a little carried away with the harshness sometimes. That's all. You
Right.
got to know when it's too
It's
much.
all about it's a good balance. Like I like when I'm critiquing someone's work, I tend to say like what's good about it, like what I like, and what I didn't like. That's kind of what we you know, take out. Oh, I like this part, and then I go into it. And like if it's something that's bad content, I usually like have a longer list of what's bad and what's good, but I always try to like poke out at least like okay, I like this and this.
Yeah, it's just
Something. There's
balance.
always something
Mm-hmm.
positive in anything, usually. And,
I
like
There's
think
always a
especially media.
positive takeaway.
Yeah.
as humans, it seems as these days, as humans, it seems easier to pick stuff apart and criticize and
Mm,
have a negative view about it. Just seems like the easier way out for most people seemingly. It takes more effort to be positive and supportive and push people up. That I think that just takes more effort for people these days. When I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but just to make it simple, it's your screen is like a place for you to take it out on people, and it can only be done on your screen. So if someone's having a bad day, it's so much easier for them to use this screen as a tool to take that out on the rest of the world. Whereas it's more rare to find somebody who is just all about like support and positive reinforcement. So I'm still like not up to up to date. I don't know. My software is still pretty old school. I still like if I was a computer, I'm still dial up. I'm not like really with the times with technology and stuff and like
it's
the
always evolving, so it's hard to keep up.
I
Yeah, it's
cannot
always
keep
gonna
up, man.
change.
I'm not even trying to keep up.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, I'll be back here. We're good. You can like pull me on a wagon with like a really long string. I don't need to be up there. I've got reality to focus on. I think it's just sometimes I feel like a cyborg when everything has to be through a phone or an app or
Right.
all this
Yeah, there's
crazy
that
stuff.
loss of
Yeah.
the humane part of it.
Yeah. You
Yeah, and
gotta
I'm
just
not
remember
about it.
it's just a tool. Like technology is not your life. It's just a tool that you can use. You can use it for good or you can use it for bad. It's not your life, and people kind of
Right.
forget that, especially like on
They do.
social media.
And it's really sad too. I mean, I know people who are they they won't show you their screen time. And I mean, I'm guilty too of too much screen time because I run a business. I have to be online a lot. If I want to sell my products, I have to engage and be
Right.
online and stuff. And part of me hates that, but part of me is so grateful to be in that position because I'm doing what I love. I'm not working somewhere that I can't stand being. So it's kind of like a necessary sacrifice, but you need to have balance. It's all about finding a healthy balance. But
And I think that's a really good thing that a lot of people, lose in the rat race of, social media, the internet, and even just putting themselves out there. There is such a thing as doing too much and not having enough, not only for yourself, but also enough just to keep you in separate, livelihoods. Because as we see on social media with people whose in lives are based on it, from how they receive their information, people who also get on there to put out hate speech and other false information. It's all about how far you want to just go.
mhm.
And for me, I think you saying you got to have balance between the humanity of it and then the technological aspects is something that definitely we as people now, since technology is so integrated with us, and it's always going to continue to evolve no matter how much we try to delay progress, because you can't fully stop it. So you try your best to just adapt and do what you can.
Yeah, and I think we just have to if we see our buddy, he's slipping, he's spending way too much time on it. Those people might just need a reminder, and not like an aggressive reminder, but like
Yeah. Hey, let's go
I
outside.
found in
Go
my
for a walk.
exactly, I found in my own
Yeah.
experience, don't tell someone, "Hey, get off your phone. You're on your phone too much." It's like, "Hey, it's pretty nice outside. You want to go outside?"
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Just
kind
have
of
a
have to.
suggestion. Yeah.
It's like healthy manipulation in a way. You
Mm.
kind of have to. You got to
Kind
flip
of
the
break
right
the cycle.
switch. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know people. I knew people who were like that. And they get for the better. So it's good to, you don't want to push them, but like, you give them a little tap
Just
on the
like a little
shoulder.
love tap.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a little love tap, and it shows that. I mean, depending on how you do it, it shows that you care. I mean, even if you're not good, even if that love tap is more like a love smack, it shows that you care about the person. You just might not know how to
Mm.
deliver that love and care to them, and then it creates like some turbulence in the relationship. But I've learned that if you
They'll
can just, yeah, if
like
you can
find their
just,
way back if it's like, worth
Hmm.
the friendship. They usually do. They're like, oh, okay, I see what you mean. They
because
usually
listen,
see the light.
the way I see it is if I didn't care about you, I would just tell you to fuck yourself. And I
Mm.
don't mean to sound rude, but like if I'm looking out for you, it's because I care about you. And I've got your person in my life, and I want to see you do as well as you can. I want to support, push you. I want you to hit your goals. I want to hit mine. I want us to just like make this work, make this lifetime work. And if I didn't feel that way, I wouldn't care what you were doing. And
Right.
it's not my business what you're doing, but as somebody who knows you and cares about you, I have some responsibility in your life to make sure that you're um, staying here in reality, and making it happen, and not just getting like just not wasting away, because it's hard to see people you care about wasting away. And sometimes that's just how it is. You can't change that, and you have to
Mhm.
let go of people.
Yeah,
But
they gotta find their own way. Yeah.
and that's just one more thing that makes me feel like relatable with this character I love is helping people genuinely, and being a supportive voice in their mind that at at minimum is just a reminder that like people care about you, and they want to see you do well. So like that's what I'm about. I don't want to tear anybody down. I mean, if someone's asking for it, you might need to be put in your place. You might need to
Right.
be put in time out.
Right.
Otherwise, I just want to see you do well, and
Yeah.
that's it. Like,
Oh,
period. I just want to see you do well and be a great version of yourself.
yeah. No, exactly.
Yeah, and I
I
think
don't
that's
think
a.
there's. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead,
Wait,
Josh.
go ahead, Jerry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think that's a really great way to, kind of end things off because, having true friends, which is in essence what Spider-Man is to everyone, it's in his slogan, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And when you think of someone in
Exactly.
your neighborhood, you want somebody, hey, I can trust this person, enough like that I can ask them for help, or if they know I'm struggling, they'll do something just out of the genuine kindness of their hearts.
Hmm.
And Mr. Adrian, we want to really thank you for taking so much
Yeah.
of your time to
Yeah.
sit
Thank
here
you
with
for
us
coming
and
on. We
talk
really
and just
appreciate it.
peel back a few layers of the spider web to
Yeah.
get to us to know you and put yourself kind of out there and get a little bit more comfortable with us.
You may not be able to tell, but I'm so grateful and so happy that it happened. And all the love right back to you guys, for real. This is the coolest thing I've done probably in months, honestly, in months. This is like such a fun, healthy interaction that I've got to enjoy having. So
Yeah. No,
the
we
pleasure
really
is
Yeah.
appreciate
truly mine. You guys are
Yeah.
awesome.
Again, thank you so much for having us. It's it's been really great to learn
Thank
about you,
you.
hear your opinions on how you got started and what you do as far as how you handle your creative process and just the chemistry and inner friendly mingling that we've all been developing.
Absolutely, yeah. I feel like I've known you guys forever. You guys are my homies.
So
But
yeah, Adrian, we just do a little outro. And we like to get the guests like a little custom or like a part of the outro itself. So like usually I start and Jerry says his little saying, and if we could, right after Jerry say, becoming super friends one episode at a time. I know it's a lot to remember. That'll
No,
be
I
great.
got this.
Yeah, so like that'll be kind of like the bow that tie off that episode, and then this will be the show. So,
Let's get it.
all right, awesome. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. This is Josh from BatYard Productions sending you off up and away until next BatYard's finest episode.
This is Jerry guiding you all with Green Lantern's light.
This is the Web Shredder making super duper friends one at a time.
Thank you so much. We
Awesome,
really
awesome.
appreciate you
Thank you
coming
so
on, Web
much.
Shredder. Yeah, that was awesome.
The pleasure is all mine, boys.
All
All
right,
right.
bye everyone.
Good night,